Coming up on today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can trade up over time to get to those power magic cards you really want to get. It's coming up next. What, am I late to my own video? Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. This is MTG Moxman coming at you, and I hope you guys are ready for a little fun video today. The possibility of trading up your collection to reach goals in other cards that you've always dreamed about having. Maybe you want to just get your very first Jeweled Lotus from Commander to add to that Commander deck. I mean, $100 card, right? Maybe you're trying to get some dual lands built into Commander decks, Vintage, Legacy. Remember, dual lands are kind of like that gateway card. But on the other hand, maybe you as a player right now are actually just trying to step up into your very first piece of power. Maybe you want to get your first Time Twister, Ancestral Recall, maybe a Mox. Maybe, heaven forbid, you're actually trying to get your very first Black Lotus. Good luck to you. I know it's going to be a hard journey, but you can do it. The longer you play Magic the Gathering, as long as you're an active player, you're buying, you're cracking packs, you are always adding new inventory into your collections. The more inventory you add, the more you have to trade and move around to get the things you want. Yes, in most cases, that trade will be at a loss. It will. Fact of life. Dealing with stores, dealing with other players, 80 cents on the dollar, 75 cents on a dollar. It can be brutal, right? But at the same time, it's not zero. So, we're talking about getting ourselves an unlimited Mox Ruby today. Unlimited Mox Ruby, we're going to assume it's heavily played, and it's going for between 3,000 Canadian to $3,500 Canadian. That's our goal. That's what we want to get. All right? That's what the Mox Man's trying to do here. Now, for mine, I'm going to use Mox Ambers as an average to show you a couple of things in the video today. But we're also going to use rares and mythics at different values to get to the same goal, to see what you would need to do to get to those cards. Now, first off, let me tell you something about LGSs. They're awesome, and they're not awesome, okay? You can sell cards on eBay, but with eBay fees and shipping and tracking times and all that stuff, you can lose a lot of money. So I see a lot of people right now using their local LGS. But that LGS, most of them are going through hard times in the sense they don't want to give you a lot of money, especially cash. So if it's trade-in, you'll be looking at between 50% to 70% trade-in value depending on the card that they're dealing with. You might have some awesome cards that they have no stock in and they want to add them to their inventory because it could be on people's wish lists off of their websites and stuff, right? I've been through this a lot. I know what I'm talking about. Now, if you're trying to get cash though, you're talking 40 to 50% of whatever card you're trading in is. That's why it's always kind of a loss leader. It's usually better to go for the higher trade-in value depending on the store you're dealing with. And here's the second part. You can go to lots of different stores and do mini trades and have little accounts with all these different stores, but guess what? It is better to have one account with one main store that you like to deal with, because that store will build a relationship with you. They'll be willing to work with you if the owner, if the staff there know you, if the management is aware you're there all the time spending money. They realize even in the worst of times, they got to kind of keep you happy, because if they make you too mad, don't be unreasonable. Okay? Don't be unreasonable. Don't take this too far. But generally speaking, if you're a good customer, they want to be a good owner, a good person to work with. Okay? So you can talk to them about that. But when you look at those values, it doesn't seem like a lot, does it? It seems like you're getting ripped off. But guess what? If you were spending your hard-earned cash only to buy these cards, we're talking $3,500 cash. So it's better to have an account with one of these stores and you can build your trade in. Now the problem is, when you open a pack, let's just say it had nothing you wanted, you offered to the store goes, I'll give you like 12 bucks in trade in. Most of you will crack more packs or do something else. You do have to get to that point where you're willing to have a little patience and build up your account. I've talked to people on my Discord and on my Patreon. Some guys are really good at it, right? There's some of you guys out there who can really kind of hold on to your cash and build it towards something bigger. And that's what you have to do. And sometimes you have to mix real cash in. If you're an active player, this does become easier because you've built up inventory, remember. But if you were just spending cash, coming out with $3,500 is a lot of money for people. But maybe we can half that. maybe even less, depending on how much stuff you've traded in over your time. If you trade in cards as they're rotating out when nobody really cares, but it's still that high trading value, boom, you come out ahead. If you trade in at the right time, you can make a killing. Or if you buy a card at the right time, which is what I have done to show you guys today. So let's say Mox Ambers. Right now, I think they're around $35 US. All right? $35 US each. Okay? My cost average on my spreadsheet down there says I've paid $7.19. So my average is $7.19 Canadian. You can see I paid really low for my cost average on all my Moxes. Okay? Because I got in when nobody cared and everyone laughed at me. That can happen for anybody. Okay, you pick the right card, you have some fun with it. When that card shoots up, as long as you know what you're after. I myself am not selling my Mox Ambers, by the way. This is just a hypothetical for the video today, so don't get too excited and don't get mad at me. I have no intention of selling my Mox Ambers. They're OG original, but we're going to use them here to show you what we can do. So remember, we got the Mox here at 35 bucks. We're trading in just Moxes. The store's like, I don't need that many Moxes. I'm not giving you 70 cents on the dollar. We are going to have to negotiate. You know what? I'll give you 50 cents on the dollar if that's all you have to trade in. And I just say, okay, I really want to get that card. Sure, 50 cents on the dollar, right? So that means they're only going to give me $17.50 a card. Wow. It's not a lot of money, is it? But remember, I'm still happy because my cost base is $7.19 Canadian. Remember that. So we have to remember too that they probably only paid $1,200 for that Mox. They didn't pay full face value. That's what they paid. So if it's $17.50 and we divide that into the $3,500, let's just go full board. That means I've got to give them 200 Mox Ambers. That is a lot of Mox Ambers to give up. Luckily, I can spare them. Let's just say I'm going to give them up. Got 200. Now the store, you think, oh man, they're not going to go for this, Mox man. Think like a store does. They're not going to sell them for $17.50. They're selling them for $35, right? So they've only got to sell 42. 42 to break even. 42 Moxes at 35 bucks is going to be your $1,200. You're done. You're good. You're perfect. And that leaves them 138 Mox left over. They have 138 Moxes left to work with in the store. They've got Moxes for years. And even if they put them on sale at $25 to undercut other stores and they put it on their website and stuff, word goes around, they will move and the store still comes out ahead. Stores aren't going to be silly. They always come out ahead and they realize moving smaller products from $10 to $50 is way easier than trying to move a piece of power or cards that are in the hundreds of dollars. Stores know it and they're usually happy to negotiate around those types of prices, depending how cash strapped they are and how quick they need to get the reserve funds back to where they were. And remember, this way the money's not coming out of my pocket and I'm moving myself up into an unlimited Mox Ruby. Now, there are other ways of doing this. A lot of people out there are going to have leftover mythics and rares. So depending on how many mythics, if you got $1 a mythic though, let's just say you got bulk mythics for $1. That's not going to be good for you because that means you need around 3,000 of them. It's going to take forever. That's my O. And if you have 50 cent rares, ooh, that's bad. 50 cent right there, right? That means you need 6,000. That seems pretty insurmountable. But as I told you before, if you have patience and you do this over time and you wait for the right opportunity, trade in when the trade-in is high, when the store's going to give you more money. So some of these rares that are 50 cents now may have been $2 or $3 for a rare at one point. Trading them in at a high point and realizing that card's going to drop, part of your intuition skills will get you there sooner or later, especially the longer you play Magic, right? And you will realize I can come out ahead later on. When sets first drop, there's usually a lot of cards that are in demand. If you get some of those cards and you realize that card's going to drop later on, after pre-release weekend, this thing's going down, trade it in for the higher trade-in, but don't spend your trade-in value. Get yourself built up in-store credit with the store you deal with the most. So when a piece of power drops, when that dual land does come in, remember, it doesn't have to be a piece of power. That's what I was buying. Maybe you're just trying to get a Jeweled Lotus. Doesn't take a lot of okay mythics to get your Jeweled Lotus, does it? It doesn't take tons of those kind of cards. to get that first dual land. All of these things are possibilities when you have patience, trade in when the trade in is high with the store because they want to move product and people are looking for those cards at the time, but not spending the trade in right away, but building up that trade in value to get you to cards that are reserve list or high-end cards that are not coming back. Remember, reserve list cards are key here because they're not coming back and they hold a higher financial value for players who know they're not coming back. That's why dual lands and all these older reserve list cards are worth more than reprintable staples from all the other. I mean, look at fetch lands now. They're starting to climb a little bit, but they will be reprinted. The value will keep suppressed to a certain level, so they never gain as much as you'd hope they would, but there are times where the reprints take longer, and when that doesn't come around in time, you can bank a lot of money from those particular fetch lands. When Konzatar Kier came out, I picked up polluted deltas and stuff for like $5 because people were just clearing them out. I bought so many and resold them later on. I made thousands of dollars off of those cards. Thousands when they started to rise. When they hit that $20 mark, I was making a killing, okay? You guys can do it too. It just takes that planning and buying the right card possibly. But if you want to trade up to power, you just have to work it out slowly over time, have patience to get to the card you want, and stick to the goal in mind. Now, you may still have to substitute with some cash, but at least you're not spending all of your money. You're using equity you've already spent in the card game you love. And that way you're not spending fresh money and just putting yourself deeper down that rabbit hole of Magic the Gathering, right? Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I really hope you all enjoyed the video today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Remember, you can trade up. It just takes some time and patience, and always stay on budget. Everyone have a great day today. I'll see you guys soon. Hey everyone, a big shout out goes out to all of my patron supporters out there who make this world go round on the channel. Without them, there wouldn't be a channel. So thanks a lot again to all my patron supporters and my YouTube supporters. Thanks again, everyone. Well, we're all back in action here again. I know, right? You're at the end. You wonder what craziness is going to go on as we slowly delve deeper and deeper into Halloween, and you're just not sure what's going to happen. I know, but don't worry. We're all going to go there together.